What's up, everybody on Charleston Car Videos? We're at Southern Motor Company, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2006 Jeep Wrangler. Now, what makes this Jeep Wrangler a little bit different than others, it's right-hand drive. We actually filmed this Jeep a few months ago, so we've had the Jeep at the store here for a little while now. We've been getting a few things fixed over it in time, and sometimes vehicles that we have kind of, you know, some of them don't get put up on the front line as quick as others. But with that being said, the Jeep is finally ready to be sold. So what am I doing? I'm filming it so you can see it, and hopefully somebody out there looking for a right-hand drive vehicle that maybe is doing a post route with the post office or whatever it may be, you need a right-hand drive, here's your chance to get one. We're gonna hop in, test drive it, see how it rides, see how it drives, see how it looks, and I'll tell you the mileage and price here today at Southern Motor Company. As always, thanks for watching. Let's go ahead and get this video started. All right, everybody, so there it is, the 2006 Jeep Wrangler Sport, right-hand drive in yellow. What a great little car. You know, it's a good looking one, by the way. I mean, I like the color. It just stands out so brightly, so nicely. The paint's actually in really nice shape on it. Nice and smooth. Here at the store, we just got done detailing it yesterday, waxing it, just bringing the life back to it. So whoever's looking at buying it will see that this is actually a pretty nice little Jeep for the most part. Front bumpers look good, not bad. Headlights are in great shape. The main thing is it runs well. It's got the 4.0 liter inline straight six under there, so no issues with that. It's gonna be a great motor for you for many, many years to come, and it's already been on the road for many, many years, right? It's an 06. It's the last year for the TJ. So if you wanted to get a right-hand drive TJ, maybe you're a Jeep collector or somebody like that, this would maybe be the one to get, because again, it's the last year for it, and it's right-hand drive. Now here in America, we do drive on the other side, on the left-hand side of vehicles, but if you want to buy it to do off-roading and all that, I think it might be kind of cool to have a right-hand drive vehicle. You know, something a little different when you're out there on the trails and whatnot compared to all the other Jeeps going up and down the trail. But most people buying a right-hand drive Jeep, you got it, they are either working for the post office, they're doing some type of delivery route, and that's most of the people that call on it are going, hey, I'm a post person up in this place, that place, looking for a right-hand drive vehicle to do my mail route in. You know, I thought the mail office, you know, provided the little white Jeep Wranglers for people to drive, but maybe not. I don't know all the rules on that, but again, a lot of people with some type of mail route are looking for something like this. So, the end of the day, is this little Jeep gonna last for you, right? Because at the end of the day, this Jeep has got a price tag of $10,500 on it. So $10,500. So if you're gonna spend $10,500, we wanna make sure that this little Wrangler is gonna get all your money's worth out of it and do a good job for you. And as of right now, I believe that is definitely gonna be the case for you. I think this little Jeep will do a great job for you for many years to come. All right, let's keep moving through. Yeah, this is the actual passenger side, right? It feels odd sometimes, you know, I'm coming over here to get in and maybe take it out for a ride, but we're gonna have to go around to the other side to do all that. But before we hit the streets, let's just open her up, check her out a little bit. Gas cap right there, looks pretty good. All your lights and everything works as they should. Open this up. Another thing to pay attention to, the shocks are still pretty good on this, this back glass back here, holding up just fine. There you go. It does have a seat in the rear. You can also fold the seat down if you need to do that. And then some people doing a mail route probably will just take the entire seat out and put it in the garage. Anyways, carpets are in good shape. Your padding around your roll bars in good shape. Your speakers up here in good shape. Your lights work. Windows look good. Got a little tint on them. Still got little bolts holding the on the roof on. It's got cup holders and all of that. Yeah, that's right. The roof comes off and the doors come off on this little Jeep. Originally, this Jeep was riding around up in North Carolina, and it made its way down here to beautiful North Charleston, South Carolina. All right, guys, stay with us. Let's hop in. Let's take it for a ride. All right, everybody, we're going heads on, right? Yeah, we got the camera strapped on top of my head. Let's go ahead and hop in. All right. There we go. So mileage on this TJ, 184,709, okay? So some people say, man, that's a lot of mileage. Yes, that is a lot of miles, right? But, you know, most people that are familiar with Jeeps and 4.0 liter engines, they're pretty familiar in the fact that it's a good engine, it's reliable, you can still work on it. Also, parts are not that expensive for Jeeps, okay, since they're mass produced. And well, what I'm getting at is the 4.0 is a pretty reliable motor, and you know, it's not gonna cost you an arm and a leg if you need to fix a little something here or there on it, okay? Anyways, let's go ahead and hop in. We're gonna put it in drive. It is automatic. It does have 4-wheel drive on it. There's your e-brake, your cup holders, your armrests. Okay, let's go ahead and roll our window down and take her for a quick spin. You know, the Jeep doesn't weigh a whole lot, so the inline straight 6 under the hood is actually provides this little Jeep with a good bit of power. Because again, the vehicle just does not weigh a whole lot. That's why people love Jeep Wranglers for off-roading, because they just go right on through the woods and up the trails so easily, because you got that nice 4.0 under the hood, and then when the vehicle doesn't weigh a whole lot, it just goes right on through, just nice and easy. Now, you'll notice the steering wheel is out right now, okay? So it probably needs an alignment, right? Of course it does. I mean, it doesn't like pull really heavy to the right or left, but it needs to get on an alignment rack and needs to get this steering wheel straightened up. I don't know if we're gonna actually do that at the dealership here, where I think we're probably just gonna sell this Jeep just like it is and let the next person, you know, deal with things like that. There is a few things we've done to it though since we've had it. I'm pretty sure we did a timing belt on it. We did a water pump on it. I think we put a new starter on the Jeep. So there's a few things. It's got a brand new battery. So I mean, we have fixed a few things on it since we've had it, so we can get it ready to put on the lot and sell. This Jeep was actually one that we had right when I came to work at the store here. I was really excited. I'm like, wow, they actually went out and bought a little Jeep Wrangler for me to sell, and I drove this Jeep for a good few weeks. When I first started working at Southern Motor Company, this little Jeep I would drive back and forth to home and whatnot. And you know, a lot of times we drive some of the cars home, you know, to test them out and to make sure that you know, that they're good little cars. And if any issues occur, you know, it's a great way to figure that out. You know, one thing, a lot of car lots, you know, they just put used cars out on the lot, and you know, they don't necessarily drive them unless they're test driving them. So with me driving them home and things like that, it really gives us an opportunity to drive it more than a 15-minute test drive or 10-minute test drive, okay? To get in a car and test drive it for 30, 45 minutes or so, that's what you need to do when you're out there car shopping. Because once that engine gets warmed up and, you know, it's doing what it should do, if anything or any issues occur in a vehicle, it's gonna happen in that 30 to 45 minutes of driving, okay? 10, 15 minutes is just not enough. I mean, unless there's something major going on with a vehicle, you may be able to tell, you know, in the first 10, 15 minutes, but you really need to give a car some time to warm up and basically build up some, you know, compression in there and get that motor oiled up and moving and grooving and gas pumping and everything rolling, and that's what we're doing. Anyways, so we're gonna let the little Jeep run for a minute. I'm gonna walk in, grab myself something to drink, and we'll take it back down the road. All right, y'all, back in the Jeep. Let's go ahead and crank her up. There you go. I mean, one turn of the key, she's up and running. That's pretty good stuff there, right? Yeah, of course it is. And actually, what we're going to do right now is we're going to pull up right here and let y'all take a look under the hood. So let's take a look at that. I got her running, and yeah, I think it's important for you to see under the hood. These little straps are still pretty good. You know, those are common to get kind of eaten up and start breaking off over the years, but those are in good shape. Now on a Jeep, as you know already, most of y'all Jeepers out there, but if you're not a Jeeper, you know, you can take this hood and just kind of fold it or push it right on back like that. And then there's your motor, right? Yeah, that's your 4.0. You know, really clean. I'm pretty sure our detail team cleaned it up nicely. It looks really good under here. You know, if you really wanted to get into detail with cleaning, you know, you could take this off and respray it and all of that. But hoses look pretty good. You know, it kind of is what it is. Got a new battery. Belts are looking good. Fans looking good. All that's looking good. We got some washer fluid, I like to see. Reservoir here, nice and full. That's good to know. The intake box right there. You can always open this up. You can always take a peek in there. As you can see, it's a nice clean filter. That's a plus, okay? So, you know, things like that are good to pay attention to. I mean, even paying attention to the filter in here to see how clean it is. If that filter was nasty, dirty, and that lets me know that somebody didn't maybe take the time to change their filter out all that often, you know? So that's good stuff. Got a little surface corrosion right on here, but this is still pretty solid. And the undercarriage of the vehicle is in good shape, folks. It's not all rusted out. So that's definitely a positive. All right, tires also got some meat on them. Okay, you got Michelin's on there, and the brakes feel fine as well. You know, a few little things like we're missing a little thing right there. You can order a Smitty built one, something like that. That's an easy fix. But you know, no check engine lights on. I think we're gonna be all right on this little Jeep for somebody. So, you know, I know, you know, on YouTube on here, you know, people get in the comment section, you may be one of them, and you may write on there, you know, 10,500, have you lost your mind? Are you crazy? You know, you'll never get that much for that Jeep. Or, you know, I can go out and I can buy a Jeep like that for 7,000 or 4,000, or I bought one for 3,000 or whatever, you know. You know, things I think you should understand though, folks, if you're thinking like that, okay? First off, accelerating good. First off, I want you to take into consideration, you know, what do you think we paid for the Jeep, right? Because it probably would blow your mind on how much we paid for the Jeep just to get it. You know, also Jeeps hold up their value. They're not cheap at all. Yes, you can find a Jeep out there for less than $5,000. You might be able to find one in this type of condition for less than $5,000. Now, I really don't know if the right-hand drive thing really makes that big of a deal as far as price is concerned. But all I'm getting at is, you know, our dealership spent over $9,000 to get this Jeep at our store. We may have paid a little too much for it. I really don't know. But take into consideration, folks, when you're at an auction and you're bidding on cars and you're trying to buy a car, and there's 4 or 5 or 10 other people standing there bidding on a car, before you know it, the price starts bumping up. And if you really want that car, you may have to pay up to get that car. So, you know, at the end of the day, that all goes into the price of a vehicle that you're seeing online, is what the dealer paid for it, that kind of thing, right? Then on top of that, you know, do you know how much money we put into the Jeep to get it to where we want it at, right? Some car lots may buy it and just sell it the way it is, and you can get it for less. But just take all of those things into factor. I mean, you know, what money was put into the Jeep when we first bought it? What money was put into the Jeep, you know, here at our store, fixing it and getting it ready to be able to sell it? And then at the same time, the dealership still needs to make some kind of profit, okay? So all that stuff is super important, and by no means are we trying to knock anyone's head off on this Jeep right here or any vehicle. All the cars on the car lot out here at Southern Motor Company have a markup on them. But what I'm getting at is we price cars aggressively so we can sell them. And you know, putting $3,000-$4,000 markup on a vehicle doesn't always get the vehicle sold and as fast. You also have to put into consideration financing and all of that. If your car is marked up way over the retail value, you know, how do you think a bank is going to finance it for that customer? You know, just saying. And that's all the kind of things. Now, if you got to buy here, pay here car lot, and you do your own financing, then that's one thing. And you can mark them up as high as you want and say, look, you're going to have to put this amount of money down because we're not doing a credit check and all of that. And in those situations, a lot of the times, people, they don't seem to always think about the price as much. But all I'm getting at, folks, is I think this Jeep is a pretty good little price range for a TJ. 10.5 is a lot of money, but it's a right-hand drive, it's an 06, and it runs out really well. So it doesn't have all the upgrades, the lift kits and all of that, but in reality, somebody buying this to be a postman or a postwoman delivering mail, they're probably not going to want a lift kit and 33s and all that kind of stuff on their Jeep. They're probably going to want it just like this. All right, guys, have a blessed day. Thanks for watching. As always, get in the comment section. Let me know what you think, because your opinion matters, and I love reading what people have to say. All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next video. And let me know, should we get more Jeeps at Southern Motor Company to sell, or should we buy a little more of something else? Let me know. I'm really curious to see what everybody's got to think. All right, guys, like, comment, and you got it. Subscribe.